Amazing. I think we are live now. Let's just wait for like a few seconds for the notifications to go out, so
Okay.
that we have people joining in, and we'll start that session. Until then, I'd like to introduce Shikha to all of you. I know that you must have seen her posts on LinkedIn, but still, for the 1% population who's not aware, so Shikha is an amazing content creator. First of all, I've been admiring her content. She's a content writer. She is a person branding consultant, and is here to share her insights on her LinkedIn journey of gaining 80K plus followers, which is a big deal. So, thank you so much, Shikha, for taking out time. It's a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Rahul. I have been wanting to come on your lives. I have seen a lot of them.
Amazing.
Especially, I like your the latest one that wasn't a live, but the video that you shared.
Yeah,
Which the face was different. What was it called?
I've started this
Yeah,
Chintu series.
yeah.
This
I
is
saw that on LinkedIn. It was quite refreshing.
Thank you so much. So I tend to like I believe in infotainment, the power of entertainment plus information, and I think storytelling is also about that. You have been doing
Mhm.
that, so we'll dive into that.
Mhm.
So take some tips out of it. But before the the technical tips, I would say, would love to know about your journey. Take us back to like first day on LinkedIn when you just joined in, and when was it, and what was your mindset then, and has there been any change in your mindset now, like if you compare it?
When I first joined LinkedIn, it was all for the purpose of finding jobs. I had no idea we could actually use it to publish our thoughts or something like that. Had I known, probably I would have started pretty much early in 2015 or 2016 itself.
Hmm.
But my first post as such was around a toxic workplace. I
Okay.
started being an active content creator back in 2020. So that's
Hmm.
how I started. I had no agenda, no target, no any goal as per se. But
Hmm.
what I wanted was to just share whatever was going through, whether it was a personal thing or a professional thing. So that's how I started. Then I gradually I evolved whenever I started having interactions with the fellow content creators, the fellow writers. It was all about what I could share so that people start engaging with mine. So the first goal was everything that people talk about right now, vanity metrics, because
Hmm.
there was nothing about building a community back then. It was all so fresh. So I was
Right.
all about sharing value so that people, it garners attention, people start engaging with it, so that I could probably get a good job next, or probably good collaboration with some other content creator. That was the whole idea. Then I
Hmm.
slowly and steadily my mind evolved, the content evolved. It wasn't about content creation anymore, it was more about sharing stories. It was more about building a community where we could actually talk about one major thing that is probably the buzzword right now, mental health. So
Hmm.
my past 6 months has been all about how can we generate more awareness, more engagement around the concept, so that people start talking about it.
Right, right, amazing. And I think we share one thing that mostly I've seen that we join in LinkedIn, not realizing its true potential, but at the time, exploring and then finding it out.
Yeah,
So now I think that change has also occurred because now people actually know before they actually join that what is the true potential of LinkedIn. So
right.
I think this change has come, and from your journey, since you have been into writing since so many years and have had prolific experience in that, a lot of budding content writers who are coming on LinkedIn, they have a lot of doubts in terms of what kind of content they should be pushing out on the platform. Should they be focusing on niche based content in content writing also, or go general, or what would be your tips for a budding content writer to just start off on LinkedIn, and what would be the kind of timeline you would give him or her?
I believe, from my own experience, give it a mix of everything. What you want
Hmm.
to achieve from LinkedIn, what you want people to know about you from LinkedIn. For example,
Hmm.
I share about content creation or personal branding, but I also share about my own life. People want to know you, then they want to know about what skill set you have. Once they have a knowledge about your personality, your character traits, they will much more be intrigued about what you offer. So it should
Hmm.
be a mix of all. That
Right.
has worked for
Right.
me. That has worked for a lot of my friends who are into LinkedIn personal branding or who are creating content. So if you go completely niche based or just churn out content that is around writing or blogs or whatever content format you choose as your major, I believe if you are not showing your personality, it won't click after a while. It will garner
Hmm.
attention because people are looking for value. But if you are not talking about who you are, it won't click after a while.
Right, right. And I think that's a very good point that, exploring a lot of things when you try out different stuff, you get to know that what's working for you because I think at the end of the day, it's subjective. I mean, depending on your audience. And also, I think, like, for example, the second most important pain point that is applicable across the industry, I would say, to people who are just joining in, is that how to earn money out of, I mean, we want to earn money out of whatever efforts we are doing. So, uh, you know um, uh, what would be your mindset that if I am a content writer who is just joining in, I don't have any other sources of income,
Mhm.
I want to freelance, I want to build my reputation. So I mean, what do you think should be the timeline for investing that efforts, and when I can expect that okay, clients have started to come in?
I believe at least a minimum of 3 months. You
Hmm.
should. A
Right.
lot of people get a good traction in the first or the second month as well. But if you want to keep it flowing, at least a
Hmm.
minimum of 3 months of you need to give that investment. You need to churn out good valuable content so that the people know that you have some expertise. You can be helpful in their endeavors. You can help them grow their company. So if you are churning out a good fair amount, for example, if you think that I'll post one content or a two piece of content a week and it will help me bring leads, no, it doesn't happen
Hmm.
like that. You need to give a lot of effort initially to build your
Hmm.
brand so that people know who you are. Unless
Right.
and until people know that, oh, for example, Shikha, what is something, they won't expect or uh, DM me that I am looking for a writing project. Would you like to talk more about it? You need to
Hmm.
first show what you can give to them, what you have already built. And especially a lot of people say in content writing, they say I don't have a portfolio. I think LinkedIn is the best portfolio you can have. You have a capacity to write small content, social media content, copywriting tips. You have a capacity to write a blog. You can even churn
Hmm.
newsletters right now. So you have different types of formats that you can show to people that I'm expert in this. So why not start building your portfolio from LinkedIn itself instead of looking forward to other websites that I can churn more blogs or for portfolios.
Right, absolutely, a great point there, and also a lot of people are joining in. They are saying hello. So, hey guys, thanks for joining in. And if any questions related to content writing, we are talking about content writing, personal branding, LinkedIn, to be specific. So you can ask in, and I'll try to take it up with Shikha. There's a question: is this recorded? No, it's not recorded. It's completely live, so you can ask your questions, and we'll take it up. Perfect. Okay, there's a question. I think no, that's a more of a statement. So okay, people are also like they are agreeing to the fact that LinkedIn is good and it generates that trust with people. The second point that you also highlighted is being yourself, being authentic, and I think that generates more level of trust. And I think that's a also a very important point that we miss out upon at the
Yes.
start, but we realize over a period of time. And in that comes storytelling, because I've seen your posts. You do a very good job at storytelling and communicating the message. So, what are your tips to develop this skill of storytelling, especially on LinkedIn?
Well, whenever I do storytelling, it is usually all the experiences that I have actually experienced in my life. So I
Hmm.
don't usually go to any site and look for this things or research a topic. Whatever is happening in my day-to-day life related to my professional setup, I take a note down of that and generate a post out of it. So my storytelling tip is basically what I am going through, a pain point, and
Hmm.
how I solved the problem. How could you solve the problem? Basically, what tips work for me, you can tweak a bit and you can make it yours as well.
Hmm. Right. Absolutely. And I think when you try to, I mean, mold that storytelling into not, I mean, we all can understand it's not authentic or it is authentic. So I think that's the whole difference. There's a question, Mohammed is asking ideal words for a blog. Now I think it's a very broad this thing, but yeah, if we have to choose, like, I think keywords for a blog, what would be your tips? How do you choose that?
Honestly, whenever I go for a blog, as in for myself, it's usually related to what I'm talking about. For example, it's mental health for me. So I
Hmm.
usually go look for the news articles that are recent and try to get the basic stuff or the stats from that. So that helps because people are actually looking for the data first, then they are eager to know what am I giving as a tip. For example,
Hmm.
right now, workplace stress is one of the most buzzword right now. Everybody is talking it on LinkedIn. But what is my takeaway from that? That using that, I'm creating a blog or the idle word of words for the blog.
Hmm. Right. Amazing. So I hope, Mohammed, you have got your answer. You can ask follow-up questions if you have any. Shivam is asking for someone who is just starting out on LinkedIn, what are the three tips you would give? So I think we have been talking about that, but I'll mold this question that what are the three mistakes that you realize that you did and which you think people should not be doing who are joining in?
One is never compare yourself with others.
Hmm.
Everybody, they no whether people say it or not, there is a lot of factors that go into LinkedIn algorithm.
Hmm.
It is just
Right.
not about posting content. It's about engagements. It's about taking the conversations to DM and taking them forward.
Hmm.
Secondly, it's whenever you are only focused on creating content that is niche based. For example, what are you doing? People will connect, but it would be very less in terms of community building. LinkedIn is all about community building. For example, most of my work has come through referrals. I
Hmm.
mean, some of even today, for example, somebody messaged me that we are looking for a freelance content writer, and someone referred me, but I don't know the person.
Right.
I really don't know the person. I was asking someone else, do you know the person? The person
Yeah.
referred me. So that's how LinkedIn works. That's the magic of
Hmm.
LinkedIn. When you're creating valuable content, you never know somebody else is referring you, even you connecting with them.
Hmm.
So
Right.
it is all about creating value, showing your personality, and engaging with other people's content. The
Hmm.
more you share value, the more you share your experiences or your tips or tricks, what you did on your own, that helps a lot in terms of starting your LinkedIn journey.
Right, absolutely. These are some great tips. And even I'd like to add, because I'm also guilty of some mistakes at the start, that comparing is one, definitely. I mean, it's a human mind that you tend to think like, I mean, yeah, expectations are there. But then over a period of time, I realized it's a journey and I started enjoying the journey more than the results. So that's how, I think consistency also comes through that as a byproduct of that. Second thing, I think very important point, engaging with others, and engaging in a way. I have seen comments that have received 100 plus likes.
Yes, I was about to say that. I some of my comments even received more than 100 or 200 likes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, let's say, for example, if you see an Ankur Wariku's post that has got 900 likes, for example, in a few minutes, when you comment, the notification goes to those 900 people that XYZ
Right.
person has commented. So that's a exposure that we don't focus upon, but is a very good exposure even without posting or looking out for ideas.
Right.
So I think that is very, very important. And third thing is that I think at the start we indulge ourselves a lot in, I mean, finding the right time or the right moment. But I think it's all about exploring, as we had discussed also in the
That's true.
initial part. So that is there. We have a similar kind of question by Harsh, how to grow on LinkedIn. So I think we have covered that, Harsh. These are all the tips that are required to grow on LinkedIn. Anything else, Shikha, that you has worked out for you really well on LinkedIn? Any?
I would like to add to the commenting part that you said when you write a comment on a influencer post like
Hmm.
Ankur Walako, it helps. But I would suggest going for 3:2. For example, if you're commenting on three influencer posts, make sure you go for a probably a mini influencer or someone who has
Hmm.
just started. It helps you
Hmm.
keep a balance of both. You start connecting with people who are just starting with you, so you can share a journey and you have someone to look up to.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely, and I think it reciprocates because a person who has just joined in has very little exposure, so when he or she sees your comment, that's the
Mhm.
first, I mean, you're the one of the few connections that are interacting, so that has a special impact. Mr. Manish is also asking how to start from scratch. I think we have also covered that, as to, the tips to grow when you are just starting out. Especially for what has been your experience when it comes to founders building their personal brand on LinkedIn. Are they still hesitant, or what are the challenges that, I mean, these high level position personal branding effort takes?
I believe they are much more hesitant in sharing their lives.
Mm, right.
They think if they just, they don't know how much is too much. Even if we
Mm,
encourage them to take a bit of step ahead and just talk about it. For example,
right.
a lot of founders don't like to share videos. They just don't want to be
Mm,
seen. They just want to be heard.
right.
So also in terms of sharing their personal, as I said, sharing their personal life, they don't just want to talk about what they are doing, but
Mm,
who they are as a person, nobody knows, honestly. So I
mm,
believe founders should, I don't say you have to tell everything that they are doing at a particular day, but some are just a sneak peek in their lives. For example, we do for companies, we are like back to what we call that we start sharing our culture. It's more
mm,
like you are sharing your culture, what is your value system, what is your thought process, what is your mindset for a particular topic, for a particular thing. I think the more you start talking about it, the more people will connect with you individually, not as a founder of a company.
absolutely. And I completely agree with the same that I have too seen this challenge in high level positions, person branding, that there is a bit of hesitation in terms of the number of posts also, and in terms of um, sharing storytelling and all of that.
Yeah,
But I feel founders who are doing that are getting immense results
exactly.
because
I would say I love what Divya Jan posts. I love her
mm,
storytelling. I love how she is talking about behind the scenes. How is she talking about herself as a person? How is she talking about her startup?
right,
That's what people
right,
want to know about. Nobody wants to know how much millions or billions you are earning. Everybody wants to know you as a person, so that can they connect with you? Should they connect with you? That's the thing.
right. And I think it has a power to an extent that, as you said, I mean, portfolio becomes LinkedIn becomes your portfolio, and I mean, leads come like anything organically without even investing a
Right.
single penny, I would say, in that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. People are liking the tips. There's a question I'm trying to info that how we connect B2B in LinkedIn with good. So I think what it means is uh, related to B2B marketing, like, have if you have had experience with B2B LinkedIn marketing.
Not much. I'm not much into B2B LinkedIn marketing, but I believe whatever tell my even founders before starting your page or a company page, or before sending out something on LinkedIn as that you are good in this, or your business is doing something like this, start building your brand first. People want to know you first. As I said in every point, people want to know who you are, then they will know what your company does, then they will be intrigued whether they want to go ahead with it. So whether
Hmm.
it is B2B, B2C, D2C, anything, you have to first put yourself at the center, tell people who you are, then people will start connecting automatically.
Right. And I think in B2B, the trust factor has to be even more because the
Yes.
price of services is even much more higher. So,
Right.
much more efforts, much more understanding of the target persona is required in B2B, is what I think. And I think one tip there I also remembered for B2B is that in one of the projects that I was working, this is actually in the initial days when I realized a mistake that happened is we did not realize the target persona. So we were
Mhm.
posting, but after 2 months we realized, I mean, why are people not interacting? And then we
Mhm.
realized this problem that if you don't visualize a target user in front of you,
Mhm.
that's the biggest mistake that anyone can ever make in the entire marketing, like each and every aspect of marketing that is relevant.
Right.
So yeah, I think that is very important. We have one more question by Piali. She is asking, "Hi Shikha, what type of posts work well? Carousel photos or long form posts?"
Well, a lot of people say carousel works a lot, but for me, single image photographs or long form posts honestly everything works once your posts start garnering attention. So you actually have to see what your audience is looking forward to. It's
Right.
more like a hit and trial. What works your with your audience, you have to start doing with. But right now LinkedIn is actually pushing out more visual content, so videos,
Mm.
carousels and image based posts are getting good attention right now.
Right. And I also agree that there's no fixed formula. I mean, sometimes videos get more engagement, sometimes carousel, sometimes it doesn't work. So it's just exploring different formats.
I believe the more you are talking about your experiences based on a particular topic, it will
Mm.
get more attention than anything that looks like bookish. So that people
Mm.
actually can read on blog. Why do have they have to read your post for that? So
Right.
anything you need to add your human element in that, everything is readable.
Right. Absolutely. Uh, there's one more question by Mohammed. He's asking, should a writer follow his or her own mindset while writing, or should write with the reader's mindset?
Okay, when it comes to LinkedIn, I believe the writer should follow his or her own mindset for a particular topic because they want to share their wisdom in that particular topic. But when it comes to blog writing or anything that is uh, that you have to generate ROI or something like that, I believe readers' mindset should be at first. Then you have to add your mindset so that people know what they can do. It should be a mix of both. But when it comes to social media and it is your personal brand, if you don't add your human element or your mindset, it will feel like as if you're reading a book.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I think integrating those both mindset is also, is a skill in its own self, because I mean, that is the toughest job that I've also experienced, that it's not that easy to integrate those two mindsets. Uh, Amazing, helpful tips. Thank you so much. I'm super glad people are liking the tips. There's a question by Harjeet. My posts don't get views. Why?
Okay,
Why?
that will have a lot of reason. I would actually have to check your profile to let you know why it isn't getting. So
Right.
you could actually DM me and I'll answer you that question.
असली दर्द है ये जनता का.
I think
Amazing.
LinkedIn is also changing and evolving a lot. So, views
Hmm.
in terms of what they were, anyone was getting probably 3 months back, they have all suppressed a bit, but the reasons would be different for every single person.
Absolutely. I think for me also, so there's a question that I'll put out, which is, I think, a very relevant question for content creators, especially. Like for me also personally, last year was more engaging. This year, the engagement has gone down. This year, the reach has also gone down. But I mean, I was affected by it at some point of the time. But after a period of time, I just realized that if I enjoy creating videos, I just should focus on that and leave the rest to the
Right.
audience and try out different stuff to see which is working, which is not working. So there comes a phase like this wherein you realize, like, you feel like, quitting, or you feel like not creating content for a while, or you feel very overwhelmed with what's going on in the environment. Have you had such phases, and what's your, I mean, mindset in that particular phase?
Oh yeah, when I had just started probably 6 months down the line. I My posts weren't getting good reach. They were getting good engagement, but the reach was pretty much less. I used to you also know the person Harsh. I used
Yeah.
to ask him what is happening with your content and my content isn't getting such
Mm.
impressions and all. So we were having a chat. It's probably I was new to the game of LinkedIn. People didn't know much about me. So what I did, it was just simple. I started contact. I used to talk less. For example, I used to engage with the post, but I never used to take those engagement into DMs. So I
Mm.
started talking more to other content creators. That helped. That helped after a while. But whenever reach is down, whenever engagement isn't happening, I only tell people that you should wait, because
Mm.
besides your content, besides all the efforts, besides all the engagement, algorithm will always stay. It won't go
Mm.
away. There's a formula that's going behind. So you can't actually compete with that. All you have to work is on your value driven content and how you're engaging with other people's content. If even if it is not working now, it will work next week, next month. It will shoot down, because I've seen one of when I wasn't getting good, not at all a good engagement. One of my posts garnered attention. For example, in at that moment of time, 600 likes were something 2 years
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So that post got it, and after that, everything just changed.
Hmm. Right. So I think, as you very well said, it can take 6 months. It can take even 6 days for it to go viral or
Right.
anything. But that can be a viral post. But for a viral person brand, you need to be consistent
Yes.
over a period of time. Is what I think. Amazing. So there's a very positive comment I think by Piyush. You are awesome, Shikha. Your work is an asset for any marketing team. More power to you. So
Thanks,
amazing.
Piyush.
ओके वी हैव जेरी आल्सो ही सेइंग सब व्यूज़ का केले बाबू भैया सही बात है आपसे बढ़िया और कौन जानेगा ओके सो नेहा इज आस्किंग why can't we find business easily in digital marketing? So I suppose she's not been able to get leads for digital marketing. I'll broaden this question a bit for
Mhm.
everyone. How to get leads on LinkedIn? I mean, is there an approach, or just, as you said, be authentic and it will automatically come?
See, for me, as I said, it was usually inbound leads and referrals. So that
Hmm.
has worked for me all through the time. But when it happens with other fellow creators of mine, so what we actually do, we basically we the people we want to work with, we start engaging with their posts, or anyone who is in the company who is in a authoritative position, so that they can make a decision to work with you. So we start engaging with those posts. That helps us to build an organic uh, connection. So when we
Right.
start DMing them, they don't feel like who is talking to us, why is she talking to us, why, what do they want from us. So
Hmm.
the more you are natural in contacting with the person you want to work with, the more they will be intrigued to work with you.
Right, right. I think that's a very valid point because they know you through the comments and they have had that exposure. So easier and much more accessible rather than just in message. Please don't on the first message. It feels like it doesn't give a good impact. So I think that's a very good tip on getting responses from your leads,
Also,
prospects.
hello, hi, hello dear
Yeah.
doesn't work. Doesn't
Yes.
work at all. I just filter out those, even if the person might be looking for something, but a single hello, hi message doesn't work.
Exactly. There needs to be some context to for the other person to reply that okay,
Right.
you have invested time. Then let me also see what it is about. Okay. We have Randeep Chopra asking, how do you manage time? And that's a very important question because you have your duties as a mom, you have your duties as a content writer, you have your duties as a content creator. So a lot of duties coming together. How do you manage all of
So
these?
I always answer this question like I have prepared my schedule according to my daughter. So she
Hmm.
goes 8:30 in the morning. I start my work 8:30 in the morning. So
Right.
that's how you go through my to-do list. I prepare a to-do list one day before, so that I know what I'm working on for the next particular day. I usually also prepare a to-do list for the entire week as well. So I know where I can fit in emergency things.
Hmm.
So
Right.
that's what has helped me all through. In the beginning, when you start content creating, nothing works for you in the start
Hmm.
days. So what I did was I used to create batch content. That helped me because I didn't have to give time every day. Right now I'm working one post a day, and it is usually real time. I'm not creating any batches and nothing. But when you are starting, you have to put a lot of effort, and you can't give every day to LinkedIn
Hmm.
in terms of content creation. You can
Right.
engage, you can see what is working, but you can't create content every single day. So start creating batches initially. It helps a lot.
Right. Agreed. And I think over a period of time, once you get used to it, the time also decreases and you can
Yes.
do the same things in a very quick span of time. Like initially I used to spend 2-3 hours, then now it's like half an hour, 1 hour. The
Yeah.
same things take place in that point of time. Okay, Neha is asking how many impressions slash engagement should one get to consider it a decent post as of today.
Yeah, and I believe even a 2000 impression works well if it is sorting it, if it is giving you the results you are looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Vanity metrics works well if you want to become an influencer or a thought leader after moment of time. But if you're looking for leads, impressions doesn't work well. It's all about your content. If somebody wants to take you as an expert in that particular field, so
Hmm.
even sometimes even 30 likes and 2000 to 2500 impressions have worked for me as well initially, because when
Right.
I started nobody knew me. And the moment I started, probably 3 months down the line, people were offering me jobs, people were looking for working with me. So
Hmm.
it all depends on what value you are sharing. They will connect even if it isn't garnering 100 likes or 200 likes.
Right, absolutely. And I think it all depends on the KPI you're looking at as well. Like if you want leads, if they're coming out of 2,500 impressions, you don't even need 25,000 impressions for
Right.
getting that because it's the leads that matters. But obviously, if you want to become a thought leader, then it's obviously the numbers will matter. So it depends, I think, varies from goal to goal. Amazing. So now coming to the end section, I have a fun rapid fire round that I take
Okay.
at the end of the session. It's a coffee with current parody with no hamper. But I'll try to ask some technical questions and some questions based on your vision as well. And you can answer and also give an explanation that basically why did it come into your mind all of a
Okay.
sudden. Okay. So my first question is, what's that one thing you would like to change about LinkedIn? Uh, Very desperately.
Probably the message part. It sucks a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sucks a lot.
We have to load it like 2 to 3
Yes.
minutes.
I mean, it's better than before, but it still sucks. I believe there are no filters in
Yeah.
inbox. Also, one thing, the timeline. I can't see the post I created 2 years back. I have to actually go through. If I
Hmm.
don't have a shield, a lot of people are using shield for that, but not everybody wants a shield. So how can they scroll down and see how they have progressed, how they have evolved? So
Right.
probably these two things.
Right. I completely agree with that. Message part is a big pain point because I mean you send the message it's gone, but you have to wait 2 minutes to confirm that it's gone to that
Yes.
person. So yes, definitely. My second question is, who is your favorite content creator on LinkedIn?
Okay. So one is Harsh,
Right.
since we have similar mindset in terms of mental health. Second is Supriya.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah. So correct. Honestly, my usually the favorite content creators change with every post.
Okay. Okay.
So that depends what kind of content they are sharing. For example, like I said, Divya Jain, I like her profile as a whole. I
Hmm.
usually get inspired what she talks about, and for that matter, even Ghazal, uh,
Hmm.
she talks a good a lot of things that are purely valuable for the person who wants to start a startup and what is happening, how is she is achieving success. You don't feel envious, but you feel proud.
Hmm. Right. Amazing. My third question is, if you would not have been into content writing or content creation, what do you imagine yourself like doing at this moment of time?
Oh, I what usually what I have seen, whatever I do, I usually feel happy about it. So I
Hmm.
started with healthcare brand. I was a microbiologist first.
Okay.
Then I shifted to
Okay.
healthcare branding. Then I shifted to content writing. Then I shifted to personal branding. So I have seen a lot of changes altogether in my s- journey as a professional. Even if
Right.
it wasn't content writing, probably everybody says I would be a good teacher. Probably a
Hmm.
principal, because I don't like to teach much, but I like to dominate people a lot.
Amazing. Amazing. My next question is basically, if I am a budding content writer with no presence on LinkedIn, um, how do I create a portfolio? Like, does it have to be a website? Do you think is more relevant, or a simple drive, or what form suits you the best?
See, as I said, LinkedIn is the best portfolio you can have because
Hmm.
of the reach, because people are there. You can create a blog, you can create your social media copywriting things. You can create a visual art. If you think LinkedIn isn't getting you much attraction and people are looking for something beyond LinkedIn, so you could always use Medium. You could always use. I think right now Substack is working a lot. People are using it
Hmm.
for a lot of purposes. It could even help you get monetized after a while.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I honestly, I didn't use much. I did develop a website then. I thought I
Hmm.
would be able to give it time. I believe if you want to start a website, then make sure that after you have something that you were looking for, you don't stop publishing. That's the thing
Hmm.
I couldn't do. So I think it was more like a spending than investment. I couldn't
Hmm.
publish more blog because I was altogether working for clients or on LinkedIn. So I didn't
Right.
get much time. So if you want to start something, LinkedIn is the best place to publish everything that you like to be a portfolio. Because
Right.
people, even your clients will know that how much traction it is getting.
Hmm.
Are people liking it? How is your content style? Yeah, everything they can know from there only.
Right. That's amazing. My next question is basically, do you think the quality of content on LinkedIn has gone down in the recent past?
What should I say? No comments, as they say in Coffee with
Coffee
Karan.
with Karan.
No, honestly, uh, I used to judge before. Now I don't. I think everybody is putting a lot of effort to just publish. It is
Hmm.
only 2 to 3% who are actually the creators. So even
Hmm.
if it is going down, they are doing something. I don't think
Hmm.
any person should judge who isn't creating anything.
Right. Right.
Secondly, if you aren't liking the content that is happening, just unfollow. You won't see
Hmm.
that feed. Start following people who are actually creating good content, and your feed would have good content quality.
Right, right. उसमें भी आलस आता है ना अनफॉलो करने में, so it's like better to say it out rather than just unfollowing. And I think that people who publish are like, I read somewhere it's like 10%, 10 to 15% of people on LinkedIn are publishers, like content creators, and the rest
Mhm.
80, 90% are not actually doing it. They just have their profile set for
Yes,
from a long time. So I think it's still like you are in the 10% if you're at least creating something. uh,
exactly.
so that is there. My last
It
question
takes a
is
lot of effort to publish something.
definitely,
So
definitely.
not judging anyone.
Yeah, even if it's a motivational post, so it takes.
Uh, I would like to actually add for that. A lot of people said it is a lot of motivation is going around, but
Yeah.
what I have seen over the years, I don't publish a lot of motivation thing. But whenever I do, I have seen a lot of DMs where people said,
Hmm.
"Oh, I was just looking for that motivation right now." So even if
Hmm.
people are publishing motivation content, you know, don't know anything. There are 1.3 billion people in India and more in world. You don't know what people are actually looking for. Even a single content may be helpful for somebody who is reading it. So even if they are posting motivation, who cares if it is helping somebody get through the day?
Right.
It's okay.
Absolutely. My last question is, what's your aim with content creation? Let's say, what do you want to achieve with this
See,
effort?
right now my aim is to become someone who talks about mental health. I want to be a thought leader in that space. So I
Hmm.
want to create a lot of awareness because I feel a lot of Fortune 500,000 or big companies are have actually started talking about it, but companies in smaller cities like Chandigarh, probably in smaller cities down south, northeast, they don't even know what is it about. They most
Hmm.
A lot of people actually relate mental health issues with being lazy. So I want to
Hmm.
create that awareness that it isn't, and people want to work, but they don't know how and why is it happening. So I want to help them find their whys. So that's my
Right.
thought right now that I want to go.
Right. That's an amazing vision. And we all who are watching this will be watching this. Really wish you all the best that, you achieve that aim. And yeah, that brings us to this end of the session. It was amazing, amazing talking to you, completely candid. And I'm sure there's not even a 1% out of that people who have watched this or will be watching this will get a lot of tangible insights, I would say. So thank you so much, Shikha. It was a pleasure
Thanks a lot.
talking to you.
Thank you. It was the same for me. Thanks
Amazing.
everyone who joined in.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining in, and stay tuned for LinkedIn Pe Charcha sessions and follow both of us for more interesting content.
Yes.
Amazing.